Shabbat Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar Double honors to the elders, apostles, of great millstone, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, pushing the word truthfully and sincerely. I say Shabbat Shalom to y'all Akim out there. And this is another quick sit-down lesson through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahweh Shai on this May the 22nd, 2022 at 4:07 p.m. Central Standard Time on this Sunday afternoon. And the title of this lesson is going to be Nation Should Rise Against Nation and Kingdom Against Kingdom. And this is a news article from RT.com, and this is in the news article on this May the 22nd, 2022, on this Sunday afternoon. And the highlight of this news article, and it reads, Top U.S. General warns of conflict between great powers. General Mark Milley, chair of the U.S. Joint Chief of Staff, named China and Russia as the global power America is violent against. The likelihood of a military conflict between great powers is growing. The chair of the U.S. Joint Chief of Staff, General Mark Milley, has warned, speaking in front of cadets graduating from U.S. Military Academy, West Point, on Saturday. Milley said that the world you are being commissioned into has potential for a significant international conflict between the great powers. The general added that potential is increasing, not decreasing. He's right about that. It says Milley went on to single out China and Russia. Right. Right. Milley went out to single out China and Russia, describing both having significant military capability. Right, that's in the book of Joel 3:10. Let the weak say I am strong. You've been seeing that with North Korea as well too, and these other countries as well too. India, Pakistan, China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, Turkey, and these other countries as well too, showing that military might and capability, and describing both having a significant military capability. And that goes along with Russia having more nuclear arsenal and nuclear weapons more than the United States, And the Heavenly Father is going to stir up these Russians, back into that USSR spirit, And, Russia is being that bear, And you read that in the book of Ezekiel, the 30th chapter, I believe. But continuing on with the reading, describing both as having significant military capability and extending to change the current rules-based orders. He also noted that the ongoing fighting in Ukraine highlights some of the main characteristics of future battlefields, which be highly complex and almost certainly decisive in urban areas against exclusive, ambiguous enemies that combine terrorism and warfare alongside conventional capabilities and with large civilian populations. Moreover, Malley predicted a radical shift in military technology in the coming decade, akin to the replacement of the musket by the rifle and the rifle-wheeled machine gun. Among the hardware domination of future battlefield are robotic tanks and ships and airplanes, according to the general. He also noted that a technological edge is no longer necessary in Americans' favor. What was once the exclusive province in the United States military is now available to most nation states, which the money to acquire them. Milley warned. He also pointed out that the development of artificial intelligence meant that whoever overmatched we, the United States, enjoyed military for the last 70 years is closing quickly, with Washington already being challenged in varying demanding dominion of warfare in space and cyber, Martinian air, and of course land. Malley called the U.S. military to be adept and resilient, with maintaining incredible character under the intense pressure of ground combat. This is not the first time Malley has made such assessment. In the early April, he told U.S. lawmakers that a potential for significant international conflict is increasing, not decreasing. He also described Russia's attack on Ukraine as threatening to determine not only European peace and stability, but global peace and stability that my parents and a generation of Americans fought so hard to defend. China, too, to mention in a general speech at the time. He, along with Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, argued before the U.S. House Committee of Armed Forces that these perceived threats justified the record-breaking 773 billion budget the U.S. Department of Defense was requested for the next fiscal year. So yeah, after the top general for the United States, Chief of Staff, he was saying, you know, the two global powerhouses of China and Russia, they're gonna have future conflicts with them in the future, which is coming ahead very soon. That goes to show you the increase of World War III, a more prediction of a more getting close to the imminent of World War III. Like the scripture says, second war was past, behold, the third war coming quickly. And I'm gonna bring out the book of Matthew 24. The book of Matthew, I meant to say. 24 verse 6. Right, and ye should hear of wars and rumors of wars, right? Because you hear rumors like this of the top general just mentioned of in the near upcoming future. You're gonna have these global power wars against China and Russia. And ye should hear of wars and rumors of wars. Say ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? Because more upcoming prophecies are coming. The increase of the wars and rumors of wars, the increase of imminent World War III, second war was past, and behold, the third war coming quickly. And you're gonna hear a continue of wars and commotions, upwards of the people, sedition among men, and these things are expediently increasing in the current times ahead that we are living in. And this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And that's what we're seeing right now with these increases of wars and rumors of wars. That article that I just brought out, that's a rumor of war, and that's the nation shall rise against nations. And once the top general of United States, he mentioned that, You know, he was because I believe there was a military um, yeah, I believe it was a military soldiers they had graduated, and the U.S. top general made that statement to the soldiers. That's, I guess, gonna continue of on their journey of being military soldiers or whatever. You know, in the near future, they gonna have to be going back into the Middle East, even though it's current soldiers there, and a lot of them withdraw as well too. But you got soldiers over there in Eastern Europe, you know, along with the NATO allies and the United States allies with Ukraine and NATO, you know. And I believe they just did like a military drill recently, about 2 days ago. So yeah, you know, we're getting to that point of time, you know, the increase of wars, rumors of wars, the increase of the nation shall rise against nation, and the imminent of World War III. Second world's past, behold, third world coming quickly, you know. And I'm back to reading Matthews 24:7. I'm gonna read it again for edification's sake for this lesson. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And these are the beginning of sorrows. And I'm gonna read it again. Matthews 24:8. And all these are the beginning of sorrows, right? Because we are entering those stages of many different things and many different categories of biblical prophecy times that we are living in, and it's going to increase more and more and more. And since this being relates to the increase of the nations shall rise against nations and the kingdom against kingdoms, you know, and these great military powerhouses with China and Russia, you know, and the United States gonna face them in the near future, and we are definitely getting close to that, you know. We're getting in the process, in the footsteps. We're getting close to the footsteps of that being imminent and coming very soon, because we're seeing these things right before our eyes. Because you know these are biblical prophecy times that we are entering in, and it's gonna increase more and more and more as we hear these stories in the news on a daily basis. Even if it's just a rumor, you know, because the last days, like I mentioned in my previous videos, it's going to be an increase of rumors of wars that's being a rumor, and a rumor of war that's coming, going to be a reality very soon, you know. And I'm going to Luke 21:9. Salakia. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 9. But when ye should hear of wars and commotions, and be not terrified. Came in like. So yeah, back to what I was saying. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 9. In verse 9 in the book of Luke. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, which we're hearing right now, and rumors of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must come first to pass, but the end's not by and by, right? Because that makes sense, because you got the imminent of World War III, because we are entering in those stages with the continuing of commotions of wars and rumors of wars increasing more and more and more. So yeah, you know, it's gonna furthermore increase more and more and more, you know. And I'm gonna bring up this Revelations. Revelations 11 and 14. Salaki, put with KJV. And this is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14, because we are deep. Trying to go outside.
It's cold out there.
Salaki, mess with my cat. But yeah, back to what I was saying, Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe was past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. Just like the second woe passed, years back. Now we are, we are in those stages of, World War III, Second woe was past, behold, third woe coming quickly. So I let you know, World War III is coming, and we are entering in those stages, I'll bring out the book of Ezekiel, it's 38th chapter. Yep. Man, Kiki. Salaki, bring it up. What you want, Kiki? Can't go outside, Kiki. Yeah. So, let me go right into it. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog. Gog and Magog, those Russians over there and everything. In verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal prophesied against him, and said, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh thy power, behold, I'm against thee, O God, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Verse 4 in the book of Ezekiel 38 and 4. And I will turn thee back and put thy hook into thy claws, which we're seeing right now. And I will bring thee forth in all, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy claws, and will bring thee forth in all the armies and horses and horsemen, and all them clothed with sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields. All of them hang with swords, right? Because the sword, which is the modern day weapon, just like in ancient time, modern days, the ancient sword was the sword. Now we are entering the times of the modern day sword is the weapon and the rifle and all that, etc. And verse 5, Persia, right? Modern day Persians with the Iranians, they're gonna be involved with war as well too. Ethiopians, yep, the Ethiopia, they army, Libya, and with them, all of them with shields and helmets. Gomer, which is the modern day Turks, Gomer and all his bands, and the horse of Togmal of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with them. With the Salaki. So yeah, hey, we entering in those times, because Heavenly Father's gonna stir up these Medes, he's gonna put their claws back into the jaws of these Russians, That's why, the top general of the United States made that statement, we got a potential future imminent threat with the global powers, which is the global powers and the global economic powers as well too, which is China and Russia. Because China and Russia are gonna team up right along with North Korea and Iran. To go against going against North America and its allies. Because we're entering those times. Of second world was past, third world coming quickly. So it's gonna furthermore increase. Because we are really deeply living in the Book of Revelations, and it's gonna increase more and more and more in the last days. So with that, I hope this was edifying through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Aki, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching this word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Aki, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom, Shabbat shalom, and the ball.